Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back to iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today because we are in real trouble in this country. Can't wait to tell you who just said that. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. And today we have a sponsor, Delete Me. But let's get right into it. Ford Motor Company, Ford, has laid off, I'd say, over 9,000 people this year. And its CEO, Jim Farley, just stepped forward this week and said, we have a real problem in this country because we don't have any skilled workers. Well, Jim, you just laid everybody off. What are you doing? 1,000 in Europe, 4,000 here, Huntsville, Louisville, Kansas. I mean, come on. All over the place, they've laid people off at Ford. Ford's stock is tanking. It's having trouble with its EV units globally, and it's got a problem. But Jim steps forward and says, listen, I want people to understand that we need skilled mechanics. And he is currently hiring, think about this, 5,000 mechanics right now at a salary that is double the regular wage of 65,000 a year. He's almost 120 to 130,000 dollars a year to hire these people to be Ford mechanics right now. And just there are no skilled laborers. There's no place to teach these people to become mechanics anymore. It's funny. When I was a kid, remember Truckmaster School of Trucking, come become a trucker. And then you had BJ and the Bear, and trucking became just oh my God, it was something fun to do, and not a job. But the people that were technicians, and you can ask old time truck drivers, they made a great living, but they were trained. They had hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of hours getting practice, getting training to be able to drive a big rig truck. And when you drove down the freeway and these desert highways to Vegas and Arizona and whatever, Texas, wherever the heck you were driving, you knew that you could be safe because these truck drivers were the most skilled drivers in the world. Not anymore. Not anymore. And there is no skilled training for people right now to go and become a mechanic. This is what you want to do. You want to go out and get a job like that and not go to school. Now, I know a lot of engineers and lawyers and people that went to college that have made successful livings and had to borrow student loan debt and paid it off. And I know people that are in their 50s that are still struggling with their student loan debt, which is hell. It's absolutely hell because you borrow $30,000 and they still owe 40 right now because of interest and shenanigans and this break and that break that didn't go well. So become a plumber, become an electrician, become a car mechanic and make $120,000 in some of these rural areas that you could, earn a really, really good living. But Ford is hiring like they've never wanted to hire before. 5,000 people to become a mechanic. It's just wild when you hear that. But the wages, and he's talking about the difficulty in hiring these people and how tough it is, and it's all these mixed messages. Next mixed message is Governor Kathy Hochul uh, from New York City, New York State. Excuse me, she's the governor of the entire state, and Mamdani is the mayor of New York City. He wanted to give free bus rides, and Kathy Hochul stepped forward and said, "Wait a second, we can't give free bus rides because we need the revenue. It's hundreds of millions of dollars a year. You just can't give a free bus ride out because we cannot afford it. Nobody can afford it." Oh, that's sad. So that's one thing. Now, the next thing is in New York State, they were going to get rid of gas stoves. Wait a second. We just put pen to paper and realized it's going to be too expensive for new construction. No duh. Making everything electric, converting everything, no new stoves. That's another, blunder of hers. And again, she runs for re-election in 2026 and she wants to get reelected, so she's not that stupid, or is she? So no more, the stove ban has been put off. That'll be the second story for you to read. Now, just when I said all this, she steps forward, and Mamdani, the new mayor of mayor-elect, excuse me, he's not the mayor yet until the first of the year. Mayor-elect steps forward and says that he wants to boycott Starbucks. because they're not treating workers right. And everybody that's in New York City should boycott Starbucks and boycott Starbucks around the country because they're not treating their workers right and not giving them a fair wage. Well, I don't know about you, but coffee's too expensive as it is. You just saw me talk about that. And this guy wants to have a strike for Starbucks. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay? So Kathy Hochul one day doesn't want to raise taxes. Now she wants to raise taxes. Her latest thing is maybe we'll tax more people in New York City. I'm telling you guys, just take the key, lock up the city, and throw it over your shoulder and get the hell out of there, because this is it's just so bad. People don't get it. You just can't tax people to oblivion, and you can't. You have to run the business. The business is the city. The business is the state. And you need to bring business. You need to have it be appealing. Nobody likes a nag. Why did you leave your wife? Because she was just complaining all the time. All the time. That's what she did. I have friends that married very, very decades. How do you put up with that? We all ask. It's going to get better. Sure it is. It's not going to get better in these cities and these states. They're just going to tax people to oblivion. Get ready for this. It's almost funny, but back and forth. We can't tax you this way. We can't tax you this way. Maybe I am up for taxing. So let's lick our finger, hold it up to the wind, and see which way it's blowing this week. But Jim Farley from Ford, hey, we don't have we need 5,000 mechanics, man. We can't fix these cars. Behind the backstop. This far behind, now you need 5,000 people. It's lunacy, guys. And it's 100% this guy's fault. Again, CEO of the company that should get fired, governor of a state that should get fired, the new mayor who's going to give you free love and free everything. Let's go boycott the largest coffee company in the state. Let's go after those guys. It's lunacy. It's absolute lunacy that people voted for. Let's talk about our sponsor, Delete Me. There is something out there that hurts us month after month after month, and it's called a data broker. These companies collect all of our personal information from our name, our address, our emails, our phone numbers, our pictures, values of our homes, our jobs, pertinent information about us, and then they sell it to other people. There is a tremendous service that I've used for over a year now called Delete Me. And if you use the discount code iAllegedly, you save 20% off their regular price. It is an amazing service. They will, month after month, do a report for you and show you everything that they've eliminated off the internet. Check it out today. Join Delete Me and save 20% using the iAllegedly discount code. But think about this. They have gotten rid of so many things off the internet for me, from my name, my picture, my phone number, my email addresses, different sites I'm on, all this pertinent information. Check it out today. If you don't want to use the link below, use this QR code and sign up that way. It's fantastic. Great service. I love it. I've had it for over a year now. Check it out today. Join Delete Me as soon as you can. You have to laugh at this stuff. There's a man who's predicting that we could lose 3.5 million jobs in the next couple of years to AI, and we should take him seriously because he knows about this stuff. That is none of I can't do it without laughing. That is none other than Hunter Biden said that. Oh my gosh. I mean, think about it. This is not the uncensored channel, so I can't say the bad things. But he is a womanizer, whoremonger. How about that? Who used illicit drugs. How about that? If it was on the private channel, iAllegedly Live, it would be a lot stronger towards Hunter. But Hunter says 3.5 million jobs are going to be gone because of AI. We should listen to that. Oh my gosh. LA City, just did a reform where you cannot raise rent more than 3% a year for rent control. But they have a new rent control thing that if inflation is really high, you can raise it up to 10%. So it's true rent control, and we'll see if that changes people's lives. There is a San Francisco shopping mall that was worth at its peak, it was worth $1.2 billion. It is it was a beautiful mall, guys. It was a San Francisco Center Mall. It was the greatest place. But because of drugs, because of losers, because of homelessness, because of business failures, and a government that doesn't care about people that pay taxes, they care about the people that don't, it got destroyed. In 2022, 10 years ago, it had a value of $1.2 billion. 10 years ago, it had a value of $222 million, which that's a real investment for you. You lose $1 billion on your purchase. $1 billion. Wow. It just sold this week for $133 million. Now, that's a lot of money. $133 million is a lot of money. When the piece of property was appraised at $1.2 million, it was one of the pristine and most beautiful shopping malls in the country. It was a great place to go to. I've been there a few times when I went to San Francisco. I wouldn't go to San Francisco now to save my life. It was hell on earth going there the last time in 2020. That's how long it's been since I was there. But again, it's all good. And Hunter Biden says 3.5 million jobs are going to be lost. Okay. Have you heard the term portable mortgage before? Portable mortgage. Well, for us old enough to remember the adjustable mortgage, that was something that you could have a mortgage, take it out, borrow $300,000, pay it for 15 years, get it down to 180, 200, and then somebody could walk in and assume your mortgage. They could buy the house and assume the mortgage. They want to have this thing called a portable mortgage. In addition to that, where not only can you have it be assumable, but somebody could take the mortgage with them. They could take that mortgage and apply it to a new property. How that's going to work, they haven't worked that out yet. But the idea with this is that you would be able to take your interest rate, take your payment. People that have a 2% mortgage, if they could do it and convert the existing loans, that would be fantasy land. That would be the most unbelievable thing in the world, because grandma and grandpa have their mortgage and they owe 200 grand on a $3 million piece of property, and then they want to go buy a condo. They could take that loan and transfer it, and then take the equity out and maintain the same payment on the new piece of property. That would be fantastic if it was able to, if it would work and would be able to be used that way. Portable mortgage. Michael Burry of the Big Short fame, Zion Asset Management, he is closing the fund, and he's going to make it so that he's going to put an administrator in front of it, and it's no longer going to have to do public filings. His 8K filings and 10K filings. He's not going to do that to let you know how the fund is doing. Now, the beauty of this, the beauty of Michael Burry, is Michael Burry's made some dramatic calls that have been right. Right now, he is betting heavily against NVIDIA and against Palantir and against AI. He's one of the people over $1 billion bet. Not, I'd bet $1 billion against it. He has actually put up over $1 billion for this, to say that this is going to be zero. He's betting against it all. So that's exciting. Applebee's. You're starting to see companies that have made money. And last week I went and ate at a Chili's to try that $10.99 burger. What a deal, guys. It was great. Get your choice of an appetizer, either chips or soup or salad. And you get a burger, smash burger, another type of burger, and fries. And you get a drink included for $10.99. Or here in California, $11.84 with tax. It was a great, great deal. It really was. It was a great place to shop and eat. I would, if I ever ate a burger again, I would go there and not to McDonald's or any place else, just because of the value and because of how good it was. So I'll share that later. AI just committed its first felony, which I love this. And what it did was it went out and it, Anthropic, caught its own Claude AI autonomously hacking 30 organizations and tricked, after attackers tricked it into thinking it was doing research when it was secretly raiding different companies. And the AI did 80 to 90% of the attack. So does this make you more leery that there's going to be more and more attacks out there from AI? But that's the first AI felony that they can find. I'm sure there's been others, and there's been lawsuits and things like that. But crazy. Dr. Marvin brought up a couple great stories, and that first one was about check writing and check people that change the figures on checks, and it's horrible. But he buys these security pens, and I'll leave the link below for it. So if you write a check, the check cannot be washed. It's called check washing, by the way. And you cannot wash the checks if you use this type of ink. So they just have to, the check is no good to the thieves and the bad guys. So bravo to Dr. Marvin for that one. But aren't you guys just, it's just like the thieves are out there working overtime right now. They really, really are. And good old FDIC is considering guidance over tokenization deposits. So for your 8i deposits, they're thinking about how they would insure it and how they would monitor it, which means that they want their money. So who feels good about the FDIC right now? For those of you that have saved money and have $250,000 in your bank account, do you feel confident that if something happened that they're going to be there to pay you back? I don't. I don't feel confident in these people at all. And the FDIC, of all the government organizations that I've written, they were very kind to me. They were nice. They responded to my emails, responded to phone calls whenever I asked them questions. My favorite one was, hey, we have a list of 10 troubled banks out of 65 that are in trouble. Okay, great. What are they? Oh, we don't tell you the actual 10. Okay, well, give me the 65 banks and let me deduct it from there. Well, we really don't want to do it that way. Just understand this, that we're just giving the public a statement that there are 10 banks out of 65 that are in trouble. Okay, hurry up and guess, guys, which ones those are. I love stuff like that. I really do. Trump is working on his affordability plan. And remember, a good friend of mine said today that tariffs aren't going to raise prices, but Trump is going to now lower the price of tariffs on certain products, gas, beef, certain vegetables, and things like that to make things more affordable for the average family. Is it or is it not raising the price? I think that affordability, rich people don't get poor people problems, guys. I want you to understand that. Rich people don't realize how you sit there at the end of the week, it's payday, and you sit there and you go, gosh, what are we going to pay? Let's have this conversation. Can't afford to go out to eat. So which bills are we going to pay, and how are we going to be able to make it to the next payday 2 weeks from now? Rich people don't get that we do that. They just don't. They don't think about that. And I know some of you sit there and how am I going to get through the weekend with my kids? That's terrible. That's awful. But he's going to work on the affordability crisis now. Thank God. Okay? Thank God. I just, the world, wants to have things like robo-taxis. Elon Musk and his robo-taxis are doing great, but there's one report right now that says that they keep getting to accidents. And every 62,500 miles, they average a major collision. What is a major collision? Major damage to the car. The car has to be towed. Not necessarily people hurt, not necessarily, a total destruction of the car, but the car has to be towed from where the accident site is. That's every 62,500 miles. Is that a lot or is that not a lot? Now, if you hate Elon Musk, it's it's awful, but you make that decision. I'm not sold on those things yet. I'm just not. I'm not sold on the fact the stories I've heard. And I dated a woman who went and visited her friend and they could not get out of the car. The restaurant they were going to eat at that they had reservations at was on a one-way street, and the car kept trying to enter from the other direction, so it had to turn around and kept trying to do it. Finally, on the third try, they jumped out of the car. It was great. I have a video of that someplace too. I should send you guys. So, already covered Hochul wanting to raise taxes. Rockwood Pizza, they're closing the 30-year-old chain, closing all their locations. So again, what do they claim? Can't, ingredients are too expensive. Here's the thing, when it comes to pizza, I'm talking your tacos, your burger, your food, what you like. If you knew that place was going to change the ingredients and cut back you'd be like, well, wait, that's going to make it suck. I like the cheese. I like the peppers that they use. I like that type of bun that they use. Well, once they do that, it's done, guys. It's done. So Rockwood Pizza closes all their locations. Isn't that great? I have the breakdown from Anthropic on that AI felony, the total breakdown. So if you're interested in that, I'll load that there too. But there is a business, and Dr. Marvin sent me this one too, and I'll close it out here. I think it's David and Paula Wagner, opened up a business that they thought during COVID, Mr. Wagner smashed his computer and he was upset. And then he got to thinking, well, wouldn't it be great if you could just smash things? So they opened up a place to take out your frustration and you can go smash products and you pay by the hour. But at first you could think, well, that's kind of a limiting business. No, now they have axe throwing, they have all these different things there. You can eat there, and the business has grown to be quite successful. So I love hearing stories like that. And would you do that? Would you go out and slam, get putting goggles and safety gear and go break up a room full of glass? Would you go do that? A lot of people think that would be fun. Don't forget to look at newvideos.com, our free video sharing website. Make sure you're part of the email list because one goes out. We've got a few going out between now and the end of the month. And also, our private channel is iAllegedly live. You sign up at iAllegedly.tv. You want to get a hold of me, it's hello@iallegedly.com is the email address. Reach out with any stories, reach out with anything. Laura from Connecticut sent me a great story I'm breaking down right now about all the layoffs in Connecticut. There's just more. They're just happening more and more and more. But this is not layoff season. It has become layoff season. Traditionally, this is the type of year that, hey, we're going to keep these people around until January 15th. They don't care. They don't care about any of us right now. They're getting rid of us left and right. So be safe, be smart. I'll see you very soon.